Another essential Stoic concept related to money and material goods is the idea of moderation. The Stoics believed in finding balance in all things, including how we approach wealth. They warned against both the extremes of indulgence and deprivation, advocating instead for a life of moderation, where we enjoy material goods without becoming attached to them. Seneca often wrote about the importance of enjoying what we have without being enslaved by it. He believed that it is possible to appreciate the comforts and pleasures of life while maintaining a sense of detachment. This means that we can enjoy a nice meal, a comfortable home, or a beautiful piece of art, but we should not let our happiness depend on these things. Imagine you've just bought something you've wanted for a long time, a new gadget, a piece of jewelry, or even a car. The initial excitement is undeniable, but over time, that excitement fades, and the object becomes just another thing in your possession. The Stoics would encourage you to enjoy the object, but to also remind yourself that your happiness doesn't come from the object itself. Instead, it comes from your ability to appreciate it without being ruled by it. This principle of moderation can also be applied to how we spend our money. The Stoics would advise against excessive spending on things that don't bring lasting value. Instead, they would encourage us to be thoughtful about our purchases, choosing to spend on things that truly enhance our lives and align with our values. This might mean investing in experiences that create lasting memories, education that enriches our minds, or contributions that help others. Let's take a modern example. Imagine you're considering buying a luxury item, something expensive and flashy. Before making the purchase, pause and ask yourself, will this item bring me lasting happiness? Or is it just a temporary thrill? Will it add meaningful value to my life? Or is it something I'm buying to impress others? The Stoics would encourage you to choose wisely, to spend your money in ways that reflect your true values and contribute to your overall well-being. The Stoic approach to money and material goods is not about denial or asceticism. It's about living a balanced life, where you enjoy what you have, without being consumed by the desire for more. It's about finding contentment in simplicity and appreciating the things that truly matter: relationships, experiences, and personal growth. Another profound lesson from the Stoics is the idea of self-sufficiency. They believe that true wealth comes from within, from the strength of your character and the clarity of your mind. This doesn't mean rejecting material wealth, but rather understanding that your happiness and well-being do not depend on external circumstances. By cultivating inner resources like wisdom, courage, and self-discipline, you create a kind of wealth that no one can take away from you. Consider how empowering it is to know that your happiness doesn't rely on the whims of the market, the state of the economy, or the possessions you own. This is the essence of Stoic self-sufficiency. When you develop a strong inner life, you become resilient in the face of challenges. You can lose your wealth, but you cannot lose your virtues. You can face adversity with a calm 75 and steady mind, knowing that your true wealth is not found in your bank account, but in your ability to navigate life's difficulties with grace and wisdom. This inner wealth, cultivated through the Stoic practices of self-reflection, discipline, and continuous learning, provides a foundation of strength that material goods simply cannot match. Imagine, for instance, someone who has built their entire identity around their financial success. When the stock market crashes or their business fails, their sense of self-worth crumbles along with their wealth. In contrast, imagine someone who has cultivated inner virtues as their primary source of value. Even if they were to lose all their material possessions, they would still have their wisdom, their resilience, and their integrity. The Stoics would argue that the latter person is far richer, as they possess a kind of wealth that is immune to external circumstances. This idea of self-sufficiency also extends to how we view our needs. The Stoics taught that many of the things we think we need are actually desires that have been inflated by society. By questioning these desires and stripping them down to their essentials, we can live more simply and find contentment with less. This doesn't mean we should live in poverty, but rather that we should be mindful of what we truly need to be happy and fulfilled. A practical way to apply this Stoic principle is to regularly assess your needs and desires. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Or is it something I've been conditioned to want? By differentiating between needs and wants, you can focus on what truly matters and reduce the clutter, both physical and mental, that often accompanies excessive consumption. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of self-discipline when it comes to managing money and material goods. They believe that by exercising control over our impulses and desires, we could achieve a greater sense of freedom and peace. This doesn't mean denying ourselves pleasures, but rather enjoying them in moderation and with intention. Consider the act of budgeting as a form of Stoic discipline. By setting financial boundaries and sticking to them, you exercise control over your spending, ensuring that your money is being used in ways that align with your values. This practice not only helps you manage your finances more effectively, but also fosters a sense of empowerment and self-mastery. Imagine how much more at peace you would feel if you knew that your financial life was in order, that you were living within your means, and that you were using your resources in ways that truly mattered to you. This is the kind of financial freedom the Stoics championed, not freedom from money, but freedom from the anxiety and stress that often come from mismanaging it. Another aspect of Stoic self-discipline is the practice of delayed gratification. The Stoics believe that by postponing immediate pleasures in favor of long-term benefits, we could build a more fulfilling and meaningful life. This might mean saving money instead of spending it impulsively, or investing in education and personal growth rather than indulging in short-lived pleasures. Think about a time when you delayed gratification in your own life. Perhaps you saved up for something important, like a home or a trip, instead of spending money on smaller, less meaningful purchases. How did that experience make you feel? The satisfaction of achieving a long-term goal is often far greater than the fleeting pleasure of instant gratification. This is the wisdom that the Stoics imparted, the idea that true fulfillment comes from patience, perseverance, and the ability to look beyond the immediate moment. The Stoics also encouraged a mindset of abundance, not in terms of material wealth, but in terms of the wealth of opportunities and experiences that life offers. They believe that by focusing on the richness of life itself, the relationships, the beauty of nature, the joy of learning, we could cultivate a sense of abundance that transcends material wealth. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of gratitude for the simple things: the warmth of the sun, the taste of your morning coffee, the sound of birds outside your window. This attitude of abundance, rooted in appreciation for the present moment, can transform your relationship with money and material goods. Instead of constantly striving for more, you begin to see that you already have enough. The Stoics would also remind us that wealth can be a double-edged sword. While money can provide comfort and security, it can also lead to greed, envy, and a never-ending cycle of desire. By cultivating a sense of inner abundance, you protect yourself from the pitfalls of wealth. You learn to appreciate what you have without becoming consumed by the desire for more. The Stoics believe that money is best used when it serves a higher purpose. They encouraged us to use our resources to pursue virtue, help others, and contribute to the common good. This aligns with the concept of orchiosis, which is the Stoic idea of expanding our sense of self to include others, recognizing that we are all part of a larger community. By using our wealth not just for personal gain, but to improve the lives of those around us, we align ourselves with this higher purpose. This doesn't mean giving away everything you have, but rather being mindful of how your resources can be used to make a positive impact. For example, you might choose to support a cause that you're passionate about, donate to a charity, or simply help a friend in need. The Stoics believe that acts of generosity not only benefit others, but also enrich the giver. By sharing your wealth, you cultivate a sense of connection and purpose that transcends the mere accumulation of material goods. Think about how you feel when you help someone, whether it's through a charitable donation, offering your time, or simply being there for a friend. The sense of fulfillment and joy that comes from giving is a form of wealth that money alone cannot buy. The Stoics understood this and encouraged us to find ways to use our resources in service of others, thus creating a legacy of kindness and compassion. The Stoics also taught the importance of humility when it comes to wealth. They believed that no matter how much or how little you have, it's crucial to remain grounded and not let your financial status define you. Marcus Aurelius, despite being one of the most powerful men in the world, constantly reminded himself that he was just a man, subject to the same mortality and flaws as everyone else. This humility is a powerful antidote to the arrogance and entitlement that can sometimes accompany wealth. By viewing money as a tool rather than a measure of your worth, you remain connected to your values and to the people around you. You avoid the trap of seeing yourself as superior to others because of your wealth, and instead, focus on what truly matters: your character, your actions, and your contributions to the world. Imagine living in a way where your self-worth is not tied to your financial success, but to your integrity, your kindness, and your commitment to living a virtuous life. This is the Stoic ideal of life, where you are defined not by what you have, but by who you are. It's a life where wealth is seen as a means to an end, not the end itself. The Stoics also warned against the dangers of luxury and excess. They believed that indulging in too much comfort and ease could weaken the mind and body, making you less resilient in the face of adversity. Seneca, despite his wealth, often practiced voluntary discomfort, sleeping on the floor, eating simple meals to remind himself that true happiness and strength come from within, not from external comforts. This practice of voluntary discomfort is something we can incorporate into our own lives. It might mean occasionally stepping out of our comfort zones, giving up a luxury, or challenging ourselves in small ways to build resilience. By doing so, we remind ourselves that we can endure hardship, and that our happiness is not dependent on material comfort. Think about a time when you intentionally chose to simplify your life, whether it was going on a camping trip, taking a technology break, or living more frugally for a period of time. How did it make you feel? The Stoics believe that such practices help us reconnect with what is essential, teaching us that we don't need as much as we think to be happy. The Stoic concept of sympathia, or the interconnectedness of all things, also plays a role in their attitude toward money and material goods. The Stoics believe that we are all part of a larger whole, and that our actions, including how we use our wealth, have an impact on the world around us. This understanding fosters a sense of responsibility, a recognition that our financial decisions should not only benefit us, but also contribute to the well-being of others. Imagine making financial decisions with this broader perspective in mind. Instead of focusing solely on personal gain, you consider how your choices affect your community, the environment, and future generations. This might lead you to invest in sustainable practices, support ethical businesses, or choose to live more simply so that others might have enough. The Stoics would argue that by living in harmony with this larger whole, we find a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. We begin to see that true wealth is not about accumulating more for ourselves, but about living in a way that benefits the greater good. Ultimately, the Stoic attitude toward money and material goods is about balance, wisdom, and purpose. It's about recognizing that while money can provide comfort and security, it is not the source of true happiness. Happiness comes from living a life of virtue, cultivating meaningful relationships, and contributing to something greater than ourselves. The Stoics encourage us to shift our focus from the endless pursuit of material wealth to the cultivation of inner wealth qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are the true treasures of life, the enduring sources of happiness that no amount of money can replace. When we focus on these virtues, we find that our relationship with money becomes healthier, more balanced, and ultimately, more fulfilling. Imagine living a life where you are not constantly chasing after the next big thing, but instead, you are deeply content with what you have. A life where your worth is not measured by your possessions, but by the strength of your character. This is the Stoic ideal of life of tranquility, resilience, and purpose, where money serves as a tool, not a master. Let's reflect on the wisdom of Epictetus, who famously said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the essence of the Stoic philosophy toward money. It reminds us that true wealth is not about how much we have, but about how little we need to be happy. By embracing this mindset, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of desire and consumption, and we find peace in simplicity. The Stoics also teach us the importance of being present. Often, our pursuit of wealth distracts us from the present moment, causing us to miss out on the simple joys of life. By practicing mindfulness and being fully engaged in the here and now, we can appreciate the richness of our current experiences, regardless of our financial status. Think about the last time you truly savored a moment, whether it was a quiet morning with a cup of coffee, a walk in nature, or time spent with loved ones. These moments of presence are where true happiness lies, not in the accumulation of wealth. The Stoics remind us to cherish these moments and to find joy in the simple, everyday experiences that make life meaningful. As we wrap up this exploration of the Stoic attitude toward money and material goods, it's important to remember that this philosophy is not about rejecting wealth or comfort, but about putting them in their proper place. The Stoics teach us to use money wisely, to appreciate what we have, and to live with purpose and integrity. By doing so, we create a life that is rich in meaning, regardless of our financial circumstances. This brings us to the final takeaway. Wealth is not inherently good or bad. It's how we use it that matters. The Stoics invite us to view money as a tool that can either enslave us or empower us, depending on how we choose to interact with it. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we can transform our relationship with money, finding freedom and fulfillment in simplicity, gratitude, and virtue. So, as you go about your daily life, consider how you can apply these Stoic principles. Can you find ways to simplify your life and reduce unnecessary desires? Can you use your wealth to benefit others and contribute to the greater good? Can you cultivate inner virtues that will bring you lasting happiness, regardless of your financial situation? By embracing the Stoic attitude toward money and material goods, you can create a life that is truly rich in wisdom, rich in relationships, and rich in purpose. This is the kind of wealth that endures, the kind that brings true peace and fulfillment. And now, as we reach the end of this journey into Stoic philosophy, I want to thank you for joining me in exploring these timeless ideas. If you found value in this video, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, giving this video a like, and leaving a comment below. Let me know what aspects of Stoicism resonate most with you, and how you plan to apply these principles in your own life. If we reach 5,000 likes on this video, I'll create a special follow-up episode on how to discover your financial code, using numerology and unlock the secrets to a successful life. Together, we can continue to explore the wisdom of the ancients and how it can guide us in living more meaningful, fulfilled lives in the modern world. Thank you, and until next time, remember to live each day with purpose, gratitude, and resilience.